Hi everyone. So in this video I'm going to be sharing about a program, a program of assessment. So I'll be going through the details of what I found about this. So to first start off, we have the three different sides to the program, where we have the good side, the good assessment, the ambiguous side, the ambiguous assessment, the bad side, or the bad assessment. Let's start with the ambiguous. Now, for myself, I wrote down a bunch of context for assessment, and here I wrote down 20 different contexts where these are moments in my past that I've lived where it was where I'm being assessed. These included job interviews, I'm doing presentations, doing an assignment, when my parents talk to me about me, when I receive advice from people, when I'm graded on work, even during flirting, or yeah, goes on and on. Basically, anytime where I interact with another person and they're telling me or assessing me in some way or another. Now, I want to start with the ambiguous because this is those contexts where I've done something and I'm under the process of being evaluated, being assessed. So in this moment, this time period where I'm being evaluated, because it's ambiguous, what I experience is fear, is being scared, feeling afraid. And I can feel it within my body. And I've described this with an analogy for myself, or like an image. Just imagine like this giant bottle, this with a needle, like an injection, and I imagine it like being injected right into my stomach, and like imagine that there's like this fear, like chemistry formula in there, and it's my whole, it gets injected in there and it's throughout my body, but my stomach is like the primary area where it is. And what I feel physically then is nauseated. I feel nauseous. I feel almost like intoxicated, and I feel disoriented in my body. And what I've done in the past is this is something I did sort of like automatically, where I would just burp, where like I can burp on purpose, and that kind of like massages, I guess, my stomach, and it sort of releases the tension there. So I've sort of done that, and I just wrote that down for myself because that's connected to that, it's relevant. That's a response I do to when I'm feeling like a fear or discomfort in my stomach, an emotional thing. And what I've done before is, after that experience, I almost have like a weakening injection, which is part of the suppression system, which I've shared about before in another vlog called the Eeyore personality system, where with this suppression, it suppresses the fear, and then because of that, I feel like I enter that state of being like weak, calm, relaxed, sedated, and that is how I've coped with fear. Okay, so I wrote that down because it's also relevant and connected to this program. And then when I consider facing my fear, I actually hold my breath. So when I'm facing the moment of actually hearing the result of my assessment, whether it's a job interview or someone talking to me or something, it's like on breath, I hold my breath, and then I start breathing quickly, like that kind of breathing. And then what I found as a solution to this was slowing down breathing. breathing slow. Because that is actually breaking the cycle. It's actually me let's say, being calm, not where it's this suppression. And it actually enlivens my body, it wakes up my body, it actually supports my body. So that's what I found is the solution for when I'm being assessed, is I do slow down breathing. Now, the other polarities, besides when it's an ambiguous assessment, is when I receive a good assessment. So let's say I went through the whole process of being afraid and I didn't do any slow down breathing. If I hear the news I've had a good assessment, then all that energy that was used for that fear gets transferred into a good feeling. So then I feel happy, good, high, great, wonderful. It becomes a positive thing. The same thing if I get a bad assessment, all the energy goes into feeling sad, depressed, the negative side. And it's important to note the good and bad polarities, because as long as I accept and allow myself to go after the good polarities of being assessed well, being assessed good, and feeling that way and going after that feeling, and then this whole system will stay in place. Nothing will change. Same thing with allowing myself to go after the bad assessment, accepting, allowing that as something that's acceptable and that's okay when it's not. That's going to accept the whole entire system as it is. So this is what I found, and I want to share this as a cross-reference and support. And you guys can cross-reference by looking at yourselves, writing about how you are, and then comparing it to what I found. And that gives you some support, some insight among how we as human beings are functioning similarly in this mind design. So I'm calling this the assessment program because it does seem it's not as big or giant like a system. So I'm calling it a program. So yeah. Also, as a note for myself, the keywords here I wrote is positive feedback and negative feedback, where that perfectly summarizes lots of situations where I'm being assessed, where someone's giving me feedback. And this can include small advice, small moments about what I'm doing, how I'm doing things, or anything really. This is really general. This also includes when I am meeting someone for the first time, which I found really interesting. When I'm meeting a stranger, or someone I'm meeting for the first time ever, this program comes up, this fear, because I'm looking at how they're assessing me. When I do vlogs, when I do blogs, when I do videos, this program also comes up, because I'm also perceiving myself being assessed by other people. When I've talked my ideas to someone else to see what they think, also this program comes up, and because the other person is going to give me their feedback on what they think about my ideas. So yeah, like with flirting too, when I'm flirting with someone, same thing situation, they're giving me feedback about what they think of me, whether good or bad. And yeah, okay. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it serves you in some way. Hope you can take it and use inspiration for yourself to investigate yourself. I literally just did this process by just noticing I had this pattern in this one or two moments where I felt like, I'm being assessed, and I feel like that energy. Then I started opening it up, looking at more situations where I felt exactly the same, wrote about the situations, like listing out, okay, what are those situations, and I just compare it across and I see what's similar, and then I can look deeper into it, like, okay, I looked at the positive, negative, because all mind programs have like a positive and negative side, or even a neutral side. So I looked at all those dimensions to help open it up, and that's something I've noticed as a pattern with the mind. So I sort of go straight to that now. I go straight to the polarities and straight to the writing out the different contexts and I look at the physical layers, like how I feel physically, and I now use this imagery of the injection needle, because I find that is very clear, because it's almost like I'm literally being injected by like a drug that makes me feel anxious or afraid or sedated or calm. And this slow down breathing solution came out because I was noticing how I was breathing, and with doing self-forgiveness on this, it was just, I noticed something with the breathing I was doing, where it was like that shallow breathing, like, so it's common sense that, okay, so I have to fix my breathing, so I do slow down breathing. So that's how the solution came up, is just from looking at this, what I was doing, and then just correcting it. And that I really found was doing that alone releases the fear, releases the fear that comes with being assessed. And so there. So there I shared my process behind that, how I did it. So there you go. Bye.